Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Hakim bin Nizam and my partner Ahmad Zamir Ruzaini bin Ahmad Zaini. We will be presenting about Kinabalu Park. The content about this presentation is firstly introduction and background, the reason of selecting the place, potential of the place as a tourism product, tourism policy, the design standard, conclusion and also references. The introduction and background. The Kinabalu Park is the World Heritage Site that was gazetted in 1964, covered an area of 754 square feet. The main feature is Mount Kinabalu, the highest mountain in the Southeast Asia. The main entry point for the visitors is the park headquarters, located about 92 kilometers on the Kota Kinabalu. The site has been identified by UNESCO as a center of the plant diversity for Southeast Asia, as it contains representatives from at least half of all Borneo's plant species and is extremely rich in species. Next, the reason of selecting the place. Firstly, is serene environment. Kinabalu Park provides a serene and tranquil environment. Although the Borneo conjures image of dense tropical rainforest, the landscape offers a mosaic of varied habitat such as mangrove, ironwood, heath and mountain forest. These areas form part of complex ecosystem that has evolved over thousands of years. Secondly is outdoor activities. The park offers a range of outdoor activities including jungle trekking, guided tours and also hiking. Mount Kinabalu climbing should be pre-booked in advance as there are limited permits per day. It will take about 2 days, 1 night, and climbers should be medically fit and have some pre-training exercises a month prior to the climb. Kinabalu Park has a big potential as a tourism product. Firstly is photography spot. Kinabalu Park has endless opportunities for the perfect postcard picture, from the ever-changing view of mountain landscape to the thousands of flora and fauna. Second is biodiversity. Kinabalu Park with 4 climate zones boasts one of the richest collection of biodiversity in the world, housing and protecting more than 4,500 species of flora and fauna, including 326 bird species, an estimated of 100 mammal species, over 110 land snail species, and its biggest attraction, Mount Kinabalu. And thirdly is cooling environment. It is very suitable for mountain climbing and outdoors activities. Visitors that exploring Kinabalu Parks will notice the cooling temperature ranging from 15 to 24 degrees Celsius in the park and 0 to 3 degrees Celsius at the summit of the Mount Kinabalu.
So now I will talk about tourism policy at Kinabalu Park. First one is visitor management. At Kinabalu Park, there are very limited access for the climbers. The number of climbers allowed on Mount Kinabalu per day is restricted to manage the environmental impact. This limitation helps preserve the fragile ecosystem and prevents overcrowding on the trails. Next one is permits and guided tours. Climbers typically need permits to ascend the mountain, and guided tours are often mandatory. This ensures that climbers are accompanied by experienced guides who are knowledgeable about the terrain and can enforce responsible practices. The next tourism policy is environmental education, which are interpretive centers and guided tours and educational programs. First one is interpretive centers. The Kinabalu Park likely has interpretive centers or visitor centers equipped with educational materials, exhibits and information about the park's biodiversity, conservation efforts, and the importance of preserving the ecosystem. Next is guided tours and educational programs. Visitors may have access to guided tours led by park staff or knowledgeable guides. These tours aim to educate participants about the park's unique flora and fauna, geology and conservation challenges, fostering a deeper understanding and appreciation for the environment. So the last point of tourism policy at Kinabalu Park is sustainable practices. First point is energy conservation. Initiatives to reduce energy consumption and promote renewable energy sources within park facilities, such as using solar power or energy efficient equipment. Next is eco-friendly initiatives. Implementation of eco-friendly practices like encouraging the use of biodegradable products, promoting water conservation, and maintaining infrastructure with minimal disruption to the natural environment. So now let's move on to the design standards at Kinabalu Park. First one is safety and regulations. Structures and facilities adhere to safety standards to ensure the well-being of visitors. This includes safety features on trails, appropriate barriers or warning in hazardous areas, and emergency response plans. Next is all designs and constructions within the park likely comply with local and national regulations as well as UNESCO guidelines for the World Heritage Sites. The second design standard is trail design and maintenance. Trails within the park are designed to minimize the environmental impact, often using sustainable materials and techniques to ensure stability while reducing erosion. Regular maintenance of trails is crucial to ensure safety and preserve the natural landscape. This involves clearing debris, repairing structures, and managing vegetation to prevent overgrowth. The last point of design standard is environmental integration. Designs of buildings and infrastructures aim to harmonize the natural environment, often incorporating elements that complement the surrounding landscape rather than detract from it. Structures are planned and located in a manner that prioritizes conservation, preserving sensitive habitats, and minimizing disruption to wildlife corridors. In conclusion, Kinabalu Park is a biodiversity hotspot with a rich assortment of flora and fauna set against the breathtaking backdrop of Mount Kinabalu, which is Southeast Asia's highest peak. Its policies and design standards are painstakingly created to protect this natural treasure. Kinabalu Park, in essence, serves as a model of responsible tourism, effortlessly mixing conservation, education, sustainability, and community involvement. It invites visitors to explore, study, and marvel at its natural beauty while advocating for the importance of protecting our planet's ecological resources.